What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Terry, Mr. King, coming to you live for another episode of From Boys to Men. I am here with a special guest. I do not have no co-host today because Cordell is actually busy and Eddie's still out with COVID protocols. So hope them a speedy recovery and everything. But I'm here with a special guest. You know, one of the first people on UWF campus to go viral on a national broadcast program, ESPN. Yes, for the mannequin challenge. Yes, that was back in the day, but still, he got a lot of knowledge to bring to y'all. My boy, the one and only.
It was a group effort.
It was a group effort.
Whole team.
Nah, yours is a little bit better, but my boy Pookie Burgess is in the building.
What's going on, everyone?
I'll let you introduce yourself and tell everybody about yourself.
This your boy Pookie, you know, UWF representing, you know, Broward County I'm representing. Yes, and today's going to be a good talk, so I'm interested into the conversations.
Let's get it. Man, I knew this man since 2015, like I said a little bit earlier, fall of 2015, some legendary years, like he said.
Most definitely.
Basically, it was like the title of this program, it was From Boys to Men. So, we got a lot of knowledge to drop to y'all, a lot of stories to tell, and there's like a lot of evolution and a lot of growth that we went through that we can share with y'all so we can pave it for the next generation, which is what this show is all about. Because so Pookie, there's a lot of topics I want to talk to you about, and one of the big ones I know that can help most of these kids is life after, like, you know, sports is done and everything, to like college sports, high school sports, whatever it may be, you know, making that shift from this is what I wake up and do every day to I don't do this no more. Mm-hmm. So there'll be a lot of mental battles that we see people go through when they're trying to adjust. And like, I want them people to be better prepared. Because just in case they don't make it, I want them to make it. I believe in everybody. But, you know, once that day calls you, say, my body can't take it no more. I can't do this no more. I mentally can't do this no more. You know?
Yeah, it's tough, you know. You're used to waking up doing something that you love.
Yeah. And
that you have a passion about. And, you know, that what motivates you and drive you to, you know, get up, to go do it, and to do it every day, and to do it at 100% or even more, and to give it your last, you know, breath, your blood, sweat, and tears, you know. But, you know, life after sports is even more beautiful, which people don't understand, because for most men, or even minority men, we're only known for our athleticism, you know, what we can do as far as like using our hands and, you know, hard labor work. We're just known for that. But people don't understand that, you know, most athletes are very intelligent, and not only playing sports is not going to prepare you, but it also is going to motivate you in the next life as far as when you're done with the sport. You know, even in the business field or whatever job you decide to, you know, make your career, you got to approach it the same way you approach sports. You know, you're gonna always want to move up levels. You're gonna always want, you know, that bonus or that, you know, that raise. So it's like competition. You gotta work hard. You know, you gotta get up
and
grind. Exactly. You know, you gotta do what you gotta do to provide for not only you but your loved ones as well.
Facts. I do say a lot of the sports that I played did play a role into the way I think and the way I approach things. But I know it was hard for me, like, when I finally, you know, your body tells you, like, hey, bro, I can't do this no more.
It tells you like that before, too, you know, like.
But you ignore it, but.
You got to think about it, like, my first year at UWF, you know, like, waking up at, you know, 5:30 in the morning, 6 a.m. and 20-degree weather. I wasn't used to doing that, you know.
Exactly.
My body always told me, hey, stay in bed, you know, for a couple more minutes. But, Sometimes taking those couple minutes is some sacrifice you got to make, because once you make some sacrifices, sometimes penalized comes with it,
Yeah,
So
a lot of running.
a lot of people not, prepared or ready for it, but you training your body, from Boyz II Men, you're training your body to become that man, become that person, So it all takes time. It's part of the timeline,
Yeah, yeah, I could say that. That's true. Yeah, that's a real true statement.
Most definitely.
But I know you see a lot of people struggling, like mentally, to get over that hump afterwards. What do you think that main problem be when like them getting over that hump?
Honestly, like, I'm pretty sure everybody had the jitters before, you graduating high school, you're a freshman in college, don't know where your classes is, you don't know where anything is, you probably don't have any friends going to that college either.
True.
So, like, if you're athletes, you kind of have a little upper hand, because, they're going to have things in line for you to make sure that
You're already
people that show you, where your class is at. But regular students have that same effort too, It's just that they gotta kind of go out and seek it, But they have those tools around campus to help students as well. But I think as far as like mental wise, like you were saying, that like I said, like you're graduating high school, you're going into college, you don't have family around you. You don't have your parents to tell you, hey, do this and do that. You don't have that. You got to motivate yourself. So sometimes, meeting people and being around the right people will kind of motivate you, because then you see, like, hey, if he can do it, we're the same age. We're,
like what's stopping me?
What's stopping me from being able to do what he do, and we're the same age, or, we like the same things, whatever the case may be. But it's like, hey, if those girls over there can do it, shit, why can't I do it,
That is true.
That's true. It's kind of difficult, It's just something that you gotta really have faith in yourself. You gotta really believe and trust in God, or whoever your higher power is to you in your religion. But you gotta just have faith. You really.
I can see that. I feel that, because I know faith. I feel like faith and everything goes hand in hand with everything you do in life. Because there's been so many times, like, don't know where I'm get the strength to keep going on, but the faith of believing in something bigger than myself, and it plays within every sport too, because it's like that team camaraderie. Like we're shooting for a goal that's bigger than just individual.
Most definitely.
We want something bigger, like championships and everything else too. But you got to believe in it. That's why the faith is so important, because it teaches you how to believe in something that you can't even see.
Exactly. And that's like the biggest picture,
Exactly.
But like, if you being like an athlete, just like I was saying, like that thrill and that excitement to do what you love,
that rush,
is gonna make you see the picture,
Yeah.
Like, even though most people can't really visualize the picture, but like, as you keep, stacking them bricks, each and every day, days and nights in and outs, and you realize, like, oh crap, like, I can really do it. We can really do it.
This.
You just, and like, that's just like your friends. Like, you're gonna have faith in your friends. You're gonna have faith in your loved ones. Yeah. It's just encouraging. It's just being a nice person. Whether I'm new to the team and I don't know anybody, but I'm gonna respect them like I know them. I'm gonna care about them like I know them, because hey, we wear the same jersey. We do the same. We're on the same team. So at the end of the day, like, you have no choice but to trust and care for that one.
See, and that's why I love team sports, and because they teach you something just as well as individual sports. I think individual sports teach you more like the mindset and focusing on your craft. Team sports is like coming together, unity, and being able to work together in the group to get a goal done. So, did you ever expect UWF football to be what it is today? Considering when y'all came in, because look, I remember when y'all first came in.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure a lot of people even not remember how we was when we first came in. But to be honest, man, like, not even bullshit. When I first came here, man, and I seen the way, and mind you, I came here around, like, I was 23 years old. some of these cats are 17, 18 years old.
True. A little bit older.
And I'm a little bit older, so I'm speculating like, these cats are gonna be crazy. They're gonna be acting the ass and da da da. But man, like the way some of these guys, or majority of these guys in the locker room carry themselves at that certain age, showed that years down the road they're gonna be a problem. Like they're gonna be making some noise, and man, all them guys really did. Yeah. I like me watching them. I was like, they're gonna be good. These guys are gonna be great because not only was they cocky, but they had the confidence in one another, and they had a good bond that no one could break,
Yeah.
Whether it was on the field, off the field. These guys really was in tune with each other. So, like seeing them like at that young age and how they mature they was and how they carried themselves, I was like, man, I wasn't even like that at that age. So It was surprising, It was a wake-up call for me because I was like, man, these guys are really like,
they're doing it.
They not fighting each other. They not stealing from each other. They not, like, they really like stand-up guys. Like, even though they're young, but they were stand-up guys, man.
I like that because the culture y'all built over here now is showing. It resonated. It's like an ongoing building pattern because from where y'all started at to where y'all at now, UWL football is up there with, and as far as Division II, is one the top or the elite D2 program in this country. Mm-hmm. So it shows about the culture y'all built and everything else too, and that brotherhood.
Yeah, that brotherhood.
Because brotherhood is a big part of it. Because look, it's like this. At the end of the day, they got your back.
I got their back. Exactly. It's like that for any sports. I'm pretty sure it's like that for
baseball, everything.
For women's sports or anyone, like a womanhood. I'm pretty sure they got their back, and I'm pretty sure they gonna be tight.
Oh, trust me, because I do a video for the basketball programs here at UWL too, and this trash talk that you hear. Look, the girls on the UWL team, they're decent. But I remember one of them got fouled. It was like on Thursday. The littlest girl on the bench, she's like, "Yeah, you better get a freaking waiver." I was like,
competitive nature.
I was like, I fuck with it. Don't think you'll win, but I fuck with it.
It's competitive, man. Because like, don't get me wrong, like it don't matter how small you is or if you believe in yourself and like how you said you got faith in yourself.
Yep.
Man, that can take you beyond it. Like, there's some women out there that
they got it.
Really bang, like
oh, trust me,
that's really good, and their craft show it. Their craft definitely show it, and not only do they skills show it, they're very intelligent.
Yeah,
very intelligent.
Yeah, they're more to the person than an athlete.
Yes,
and that's one thing. Like, I explain to people. Like, I know you said that most people athletes, they'll never think they're intelligent. Mm-hmm. Why do you think most people won't never try to get to the point where they can understand to separate the athlete from the person?
It comes with. This is a good question. This comes with your personality. Okay. The reason why I say personality, because personality is big. Everyone thinks like, even in like movies and stuff, like, oh, he's a big dumb jock player. He doesn't know anything, blah, blah, blah. He always want to bully people. But if somebody actually like sat down and took the time to talk to that person and see where that person from or where he came from and things like that, and how that person presents his personality off the field and away from football and away from his teammates and away from everybody else, then you understand like, hey, yeah, a lot of people know him as this, but people don't really know him as this. And that's why I say like personality is
everything.
Is a big thing. It's basically that, just like how they say in the business world that the handshake, it's a big old deal, but personality is a big old deal for someone as well.
That's true, because I know many times people would say stuff about a person, and I was like, do you know how they were raised? They were like, nah. Do you know what they do every day? Nah. Do you see them hanging out and goofing around with their close friends? Nah. You only see them from this little period, this window of time. So you tell me you can make a judgment of that person between that 1 minute where you see him throughout that day. I said there's more layers of people, and that's just in life in general. Because most people, they always put a stereotype on the person without knowing the person.
Exactly.
Because they want to have this idea of like, oh, I really feel like it's more of a hater mentality because they want them to be this bad person, so they don't want, so they should not like them, but they cannot not be around them to the point.
Honestly, I think like with people when they having that stigma in their head, I think they should honestly. Why are you even thinking negative? You know why? You know the world is a beautiful place. Life is beautiful. You get to wake up. God wake you up each and every morning. You know you should be thankful. You shouldn't be worrying about what the next person do. You should be worrying about what you gonna do, how you gonna better yourself, and what you need to do. Yes, it's good to think about and care about loved ones and people like that. But honestly, you can't help anyone unless you help yourself. So I think like if someone thinking of negative things about somebody, that just shows their characteristics as a person.
That's true. All right. So I know you from a personal level.
Yes.
outside of the football, the sports level. And
Thanksgivings together, Christmas
exactly.
together.
Yeah. We spend a lot of time together.
Yeah.
And you know me just well on the personal level that other people don't know. But about you personal level, what are something that you want people to know more about you on a personal level?
Personally, I know some of my close friends, loved ones would know that, I'm a very helpful person. I care a lot about people.
Oh, yeah, no, let me tell you straight up. Hey, because look, before he even got here, look, it was Apple Pay. He was sending me someone $75, and I knew he wasn't sending me $75. I was like,
"Well, I would.
I know you would." I was like, I had to send a question where I was like, "Bro, did you mean to send me $75?"
I was rushing over and say, when you doing too many things at once, you're not even looking. I'm driving and looking and
exactly. Hey, but knowing his personality, the way really is his heart in general, like. Pookie the type of person that really, like, if you need something, he got you.
Well,
like,
definitely.
When we go work out at the gym, if I'm driving, he's going to like, hey, man, I got the food.
Yeah.
And, like, if we go out, I buy a drink, he buy a drink. Like,
yeah.
It's like his alternative. It's not it's like, it's not he's not the type of person that he's just going to let you pour everything. Yeah. He's like, he pour into you just as much as you pour into him.
Yeah. And that's how life is a balance. It's a balance. That's how it's supposed to be. And like I said, I've known this man for a long time. I met this man's family, his mom.
Yeah, most people. Hey, the people that most people don't even know, because like really, I had a bad stereotype that they made about me. Mm-hmm. Most people don't know. It's based off of whatever they want to think, because they didn't want to like me for some reason.
But they liked you before.
Yeah,
when everything was peaches and cream.
Oh no, even back then, like, because everybody know about my situation I got caught up in.
Yeah, most definitely.
But the fact of the matter that when that happened, and even before that happened, I knew certain people was wishing for something bad to happen to me, and when it happened, I gave them what they wanted. But I learned from that, I grew from that, and like I matured from that. Mm-hmm. So even though like bad things happen, the people who really like were close to me or came around, it showed who was really there for me. Pookie, you was one of them. Appreciate it. Because look, y'all, like what Pookie was saying, just like how Pookie was saying, like, man, judging the person without knowing them.
Yeah, on a personal level.
On a personal level.
Yes.
Because I used to walk around campus because I was the president of ASA. I was throwing parties. I felt like I was that dude. Yeah, I wore the confidence and everything, but at the same time, like, I would not have conversation with nobody. I kind of made myself unapproachable to people that didn't know me because I didn't know what their intention was to be around me.
Yes. And
it rubbed certain people the wrong ways, even some of the Greeks, like the black Greeks, because I was looking like this. Whatever I do, I'm treating everybody the same. That's why when you come to my party, the girl gonna pay the same amount as the guy. Yeah. The Greeks gonna pay the same amount as everybody. And it didn't matter what you did. Now, certain people, even the football players paid. I paid too. Exactly. I made everybody paid the same, and I was big on that. I was like, bro, it's equal. Like, bro, you decided you want to do that. You may have better circumstance where you could do that. Other people don't got that circumstance. I'm not about to treat you different than these other people. And people say rub certain people the wrong way.
But it goes to show that who supports you. You know, like, you feel me? Like, you back in the day, man, was
wow.
This man threw some bangers, man, and I ain't gonna lie, like, it's some good memories, great memories. You know that I'm gonna be talking about for a long time.
Real
long time.
Wait, hold on, let this one thing pass. They do this every hour. Every hour on the hour.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You know, but man, this is my first time being back on campus in a while. Being into a green room, didn't even know they had a green room.
A lot of stuff has changed.
A lot have changed.
A lot has changed. But, you know, we evolve over time. And just like your football program here, it evolved over time. Us as people, we evolve over time. But the one thing about it, the people that are even though we evolve, there's a consistent loyalty trait that people pursue, and you're one of them. Because look, these people don't really know what the depth of you. So let's start. You was a foster kid, right?
Yes, I was.
So tell them, because look, I know there's probably a foster kid out there that's trying to figure out like everything, and they need some guidance.
Yeah.
I need you to guide these people because some of them, like, I don't know how they were thinking, and you have been in that position. So I want you to kind of, you know, give them some encouragement and everything.
Get a little brief. I got you.
Yeah, because
basically, you know, I biological parents. You know, I was born in Miami and raised in Broward County. My mom and my dad, you know, they were two parents, you know, black parents, you know, living good in Miami.
Yeah.
It was good, you know, and I guess my parents at one day, which it happens in life, people don't see eye to eye.
Yeah.
So from there, you know, like, life was rough, you know. When my parents split, I ended up living with my mom, and my mom wasn't always, you know, she had a big heart, and I guess that's where I got it from, but you know, she used to like to party and stuff like that and drink. Yeah. My dad was, you know, blue collar guy, go to work, come home, don't drink, don't smoke, you know, do the same thing over and over again. He had a strict schedule. So, you know, living with my mom, she wasn't able to provide. She wasn't able to do those certain things. And, you know, sometimes that led to us sleeping in, you know, one bed motels, sometimes in the car. You know, it was tough with, like, 6 other siblings, you know, like, we're making a pallet. You know, we make pallets anyway nowadays, but, you know, back then, you know, those moments, you know, it made me who I am today, but at the same time, you know, like, I look back and I was like, imagine if I didn't go through the motions. Imagine if I did have, like, you know, the silver spoon or something like that.
True.
Would I be as motivated as I am now today? Would I be the person I am now today, you know? So, like, once I got taken away from my mom, me and my 2 brothers, like, we went to foster care, a place down in Broward County, and, like, geez, man, that place is amazing. One of the best places I ever went to. I even got them tatted on me, but they call it SOS Children Village. Okay. And I've been there since I was, like, 9-ish, like 9, 10. You know, I aged out at 18 and stuff, but, man, that place is amazing. I learned so much from that place as far as, like, becoming the young man I was there. And, like, some things I wouldn't even learn back in Miami, you know. Like, I learned so much stuff, and, like, they really paved the way. Not only did my biological parents pave the way, but the foster care paved the way, too, for me. And from there, me and my brothers got adopted. 2 beautiful parents, you know, very hard work driven. You know, they're blue-collar workers. My adopted mom was a teacher, and my dad was an accountant, you know, and they're white parents. So most of the time, you know, you go out in public, people like, oh, you with these white parents and stuff like that, but they was dope. They had flavor to them, you know, they had sauce. And, like, my mom, she was like 6th grade and 7th grade teaching my adopted mom. So, like, she already know who I was as a person before I even, like, aged out. So, like, me and her already had a real tight bond, and, like, she's that woman. Like, even though my adopted dad was, like, lenient, my mom, she was that stern woman. Like, she had some edge to her, you know? Even though she was very cool, but she had some edge, you feel me? She didn't play about her boys, so.
Fact.
But Man, like if I can give anybody advice about growing up rough or being in the foster care, like I said earlier, it's all part of the timeline. That's not who you are as a person. You can make the difference. You can make the changes. Don't make any excuses about your environment or where you grew up with or how you grew up. That's just that's not the definition of you as a person. Yeah. Yes, that stuff made you who you are today because you went through the struggles, you went through the loopholes, you had to jump in over walls and stuff like that, but it made you who you are today as a person. Right. So you would never forget about that stuff, but at the same time, don't think that just because you're in a certain situation, you can't make a decision to choose the positive in the right way.
That's so true. Like you said, basically, y'all not y'all circumstances. Mm-hmm. Y'all can overcome everything.
Most definitely.
Because I started thinking back on, like, when you were saying that, I was just thinking back over, like, my whole life and everything I've been through. I be looking like, man, it could have been worse.
Yeah, it could have. And I tell people that, too. Like, when people hear about me, they're like, oh, you've been in foster care? And I'll be like, listen, the people that I knew in foster care, man, my story is nowhere near compared to theirs. That's always worse, Exactly. So, like, I never want a person who, like, threw that in people's face, like, oh, yeah, I'm in foster care, da-da-da. I never do that. And most people never even knew I was in foster care because just how the way I carried myself and stuff. So they'd be like, I never knew you was in foster care. I'm like, yeah, it is what it is,
And that's the funny thing about it, because you never know what the person has been through
or going through. Yes.
And that's I'll tell people, I say, man, don't be so quick to judge somebody. Like they said, don't judge a book by its cover. Mm-hmm. Because the person that they look like they smiling and happy may be going through hell. And the people that looking like they going through hell, they might be the most peaceful people and not even know that they got everything already figured out. They just ain't studying all the other stuff. Yeah. So that's why I was like, man, it's big on me to, like, try to let the younger people know, because, like, I'm the older dude in college right now. Mm-hmm. I'm like J. Cole. I'm the J. Cole. I'm big bro and little bro at the same time.
But at the same time, it's people out there. There's a lot of wisdom people, whether they're young or old. But it's all about bringing wisdom to the table and bringing life into, the young ones who's gonna come, after us. Exactly. So.
And on top of that too, because, like, I'm a father, so I see my kids out there. I'm trying to let them know, like, hey, just because. Nah, mm-hmm. Don't judge nobody. Be as nice as possible. Love. You don't know how bad they got it at the house.
Yeah, and you never know. Like, you never know who you come across. I'm like, my mom's, like, my adopted mom always told me, you always be nice to people, no matter who they is, because you never know who you come across. Because, for instance, like, God forbid, somebody is, getting bullied in school, and you the only person nice to that kid, and maybe that kid wants to do something bad to people in school. By you being there talking to him, and you can basically change his mind. You can lead him down the right way and tell him, hey, I know how you feel, and I understand how you feel, and even though I never been in your shoes, I can kind of relate a little bit. But at the same time, I think that there's life, outside of here and outside of all the crying nights and the angry moments from you. I believe that you are more than what people think you are.
Yeah. You always gotta have that random act of kindness. Mm-hmm. Because you never know that one day. Because people used to tell me I'm a flirt. Because I go around telling girls, hey, you're beautiful.
I'm gonna walk around the club. I'm a flirt.
Because look, I like to tell women that they're beautiful, mm-hmm. and tell them they got a nice smile. Because one, that just made their day. Me knowing that I may have lifted somebody's spirits up. Because I know women, they always look at their bodies. They always more judgmental of everything than most people. So I don't know, like, hey, you're beautiful.
And you're a guy. It's human nature.
Exactly. Hey, no matter how they look, they're beautiful to somebody. Mm-hmm. And I want to let that reinforce that. Because, man, a lot of random acts of kindness leads to a bigger purpose that you never even noticed. Because I think about this generation, like, man, we 90s babies. Mm-hmm. And these millennials, what they got to go through in school versus what we had to go through. Like, yeah, I may have gotten a couple of fights at school. I may have worried about smoking or something and being around the wrong crowd. But these kids these days, like, it's terrifying to think, like, man, these kids can go to school one day and you can get that call, say, hey, there's been a mass shooting. And the mental stress that put on parents on top of the kids, it's just like, be nice to the people, other ones. Don't judge them for their differences. We all are different. We're supposed to be different. If it was 100 of the same person on this planet, I guarantee you this would be the most boring, most bland, and most.
Yeah.
It'll be.
We're all unique in our own ways.
Exactly.
You know, like.
We should start embracing each other uniques instead of just trying to down them and just try to, you do that. You exactly. I was like, bro, shit. I love K-Swiss until I got clowned on. Then I was like, oh, Mom.
I know people had a pair of Shaqs before, you know, Fat Form.
Hey, low-key, Fat Form was the shit. You know, you got the ones, you always got to look for the different color peas. Hey, I'm like, hey, man, you got the blue peas?
Yeah, I know.
You ain't got the blue peas? Man, I don't want the red peas. Everybody got the red peas. I want the blue.
Hey. Like, people got their own swag, you know. Like, it don't matter. It's all, like, that's basically like I remember one, you know, famous person that I came across. Can't forget the name. I don't remember the name, but I remember they said, like, man, just be who you are, stay in your tax bracket, and you know, stay out of people's face. And like that kind of like set with me because I'm like, man, you don't like if this person can't afford Jordans, cool. It don't matter if they want to wear, you know, Target shoes, Walmart shoes.
They don't rock it.
They rock it. Just rock it. Do what you gotta do, you know?
I rock, hey, to be honest, to let y'all know, I rock Walmart shoes right now. I learned that, man,
there's some girls out there that got them on. People ain't saying nothing, but they looking nice, you know?
On God. Because, look, man, when they start looking at the money and everything, I ain't about to be spending over a couple $100 for these, for what? And they ain't paying me nothing. I started thinking about, like, look, someone else said this earlier. When I pay for something, I look at the price. When you look at the price, you think about how much you get paid an hour. And you think about that, how many hours I paid for this. I'm like, man, I'll take my habit behind the Walmart now that you said that. Because look, now,
You look. That's good that you got that change of thought. Like, you know, your mind is like registering things differently. How most people would view it because. You know, some people might look at it like, okay, 180 something on some pair of Jordans. But some people might look at it different. Some people might look at it like, you know, they worked hard for it, so they deserve. You know,
they want the
nice thing. And some people might be like, yeah, I worked hard at it, but at the same time, I'm looking at some investment and return with this. What if I can hold on to these Jordans and maybe they be $600 in a couple years, you know.
That's a smart investment.
Hey. You know, some people look at it differently.
Yeah, because I look at the return of the investment on most of my endeavors. Because like even right now, I tell my son and my kids, it's all about the return of investment at the end of the day. It's like if the person you're around, because I know right now they're young, so they ain't got to worry about that. The kids are gonna be kids. But I try to let them go to Nuggets. I was like, man, people either are asset or liability. So if you look at it, you know, the people in your group, if they keep doing certain things, you might need to change your group. Now, if y'all both growing together, y'all both pouring into each other equally, that's the people you need to worry about. That's the people you need to, like I tell them, don't worry about nobody else's opinions, but you can accept criticism.
Yeah. Some people can't accept that.
Exactly. I was like, when those people that are pouring into you, trying to tell you, hey, man, you need to check something, check it. Because there have been so many times where I missed that over my head.
Oh, me too. I'm pretty sure everyone has too, you know.
Oh, yeah.
That's just part of life of growing up. You might just be like, I think I got it, you know. But it's been 100 million times that, you know, we didn't have it right.
That's true. Because, man, funny about it, like some of my business partners that I threw parties with, we be talking every now and then. And it's little different things we talk about. about reflecting off the past and what went wrong. And it's like, yeah, man, we tried to tell you about this. I was like, no, y'all did. It's like, bro, yeah, you just wasn't listening. Mm-hmm. And I started thinking, I was like, man, did they try to tell me about this? And you start thinking over things. He's like, bro, yeah, I used to blame this person, but the only person you could blame right now really is yourself, because I was blind to the fact that I had became
living in the moment.
I live in the moment, and the ego of who I was took over from the person who I am, and it was becoming hard to divide the one from the other, and like I got caught up in the wave. I had blonde, the blonde hair days. Ooh. I was super saiyan.
Everybody go through their phases, you know. I live it in the moment. That's what it is, Enjoy life, live in the moment, But you don't want to go back and change anything. I know some people would, but that's who made you who you are today. True. So
question: do you talk to your biological parents still?
Yeah. Oh. Yes, I do. They're doing good. We still got that bond and stuff like that. Still talk. Even though sometimes my dad wanted me on the phone for like 7 hours talking about the same sports games, but
he's like, "Can you believe
it?" I know, he's a big old Dolphin fan, Miami Heat fan. My dad, he's very old fashioned. Them jokers don't do nothing. Them jokers neither. So just hearing him, but it's happy hearing him talk about something he loves, because he loves sports.
Yeah.
Even though he just work, and come home and watch sports and eat. And do it all over. It's something he loved talking about. So, like, me being able to share that bond with him, be able to have those conversations with him it's funny, though. It's funny.
That's cool. All right, so what's your goals for the next couple phase of your life? Because you graduated college, you're working at the Blue Owl Stadium. Mm-hmm. Like, what's next? Like,
honestly, man, I know a lot of people, probably, put things out like how they want to do and like their vision boards and stuff like that. But honestly, man, I want to be living in the next couple years. I want to, I want to be a better version of myself the next year. Each and every one of the years, whether it's me, even whether it's like a little brick, only one brick I put up. Instead of putting up 10 bricks in 1 year. So if I could put up one brick in 1 year, I'm fine with that. You gotta accept certain things like to yourself. Some people might be like, hey, I think you could put up 30 bricks in this year, but if I could put up one, that's better than what I had last year. If I had 29, I got 30 this year. Hey, I did something right. So
I like the way.
Like, man, honestly, I want to live. I want to live more. I want to be a better version of myself. I don't really have certain things that like I want to do. As far as everyone wants to travel, everybody wants to, see family more and talk to people, their close friends more. But at the end of the day, man, just try to be a better version of yourself than you were last year.
Yeah, I seen you been traveling though, like last year. Hey,
yeah, but
you was riding horses in the woods. So
yeah, some of them traveling trips, man, it be like it's family. It's family together, family and close friends, loved ones. Like going to go see my dad and going to see my mom and stuff like that. It's mostly trips like that. And even though I'm able to, go back to the old stomping ground days where I was at and to see certain things, see certain people, teachers and stuff like that, it's fun and everything. But, it all got to end. And sooner or later, you got to get back into routine and get back to working and get back into your schedule. Yeah, so those moments, they fun and they're gonna last forever with you in your memory. But at the end of the day, as far as upcoming years, like I said, I want to live more. I want to be the better version of myself than I was the previous year.
Okay. So was riding a horse scary for you ever?
No, it wasn't, because I'm named Django, but I rode horses before, Django. So it wasn't my first rodeo, but it was kind of like I never rode horses up a mountain. So the mountains were like very tiny, and the horses only ride at the edge of the mountain, which was kind of weird.
Okay.
But I had a fun experience. It was a 3-hour hike, and I enjoyed it. It was great. great views, great waterfalls.
Damn.
You know, being around great people.
What was that at again?
It was in North Carolina in the Rocky Mountains.
If I ever get a girlfriend, somebody know who I'm talking about. If I ever get a girlfriend, hey, that's our first trip, babe.
Yeah, it was fun. You know, it wasn't too crowded. It was, you know, like I said, sometimes you ain't gotta take trips with people. You can take trips by yourself too. So for everyone out there listening, don't think that you need someone to take a trip with. You can go on a trip by yourself and still enjoy your time, because me time is the most important thing. It's the most important time. Me time is the most important time for somebody to self-reflect.
Facts, because I took too many. I took a lot of trips by myself. And people was like, bro, why you invite me? I would have went. I was like, bro, nah.
You gotta make moves by yourself sometimes.
I'm like, because then I had to wait and all this stuff. Sometimes I just need to just get up and go. Because really, I want to just get up and drive off sometimes, just to get my head in space.
That's the advantage of being able to to go traveling by yourself, is to be able to get up and go whenever you want.
But the only problem is I got kids, and but every time I leave, I let them know, like, hey, I'm about to be gone for this time period. My son called me all the time. Hey, so basically, he's on the trips with me. He's like, Dad. He tell you, oh, my auntie doing this, my auntie doing that. Yeah. She said we can't go on the trip. I was like, wait. See, my son got a problem, and it's the same problem I had when I was younger. So he really is just another version of me reincarnated. He
got a great personality.
He got a great personality.
That's who he is as a person.
And he be telling the real stuff. But his mouth getting him in trouble a little bit too often. But because look, the funny thing about it, I think because last time me and you went out, we ran into somebody and they, they're talking about like chosen family. It's like you really could choose your family because based off the experience you've been with, blood just make you relatives.
You don't.
So funny thing about it, my sister and him he was playing. He go over there and play the PS5 at her house. He's supposed to pay for half of it. So basically, I'm supposed to pay for half of it. But he was over there. She was like, "You're not my family. The only people in my family is my dad, my grandma, my great grandma. You and Raven not my family, and my little sister. She's my family." And they go over there arguing with him. I was like, technically, he's right, but I understand what he's saying. He's wrong.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I told him, like, man, the people you choose to be your family is your family. Just like off of Fast and Furious series, like how he says it, the people that was in that room was his family. They was not mostly blood, but man, people don't understand. Like, and it hurt when they found out. Oh, I thought I was part of your family, but you found out you're not. But
well, at the end of the day, man, you got like. They are family, but at the same time, I get what you were saying because, like,
we
can't really force somebody to fuck with you.
Exactly.
They don't fuck with you, So
exactly.
Like sometimes, and like with kids, man, they gonna give it to you real.
And
like they don't forget nothing. They observe very well, and like I know you say your kid talk a lot, but that's just him expressing himself, and let him keep expressing himself because. Sometimes that mouthpiece might take him far.
Yeah, trust me. He already said his goal, because we got a goal board, a board, a list of stuff we're trying to do. His goal, he want to be a star. He want to be like Nick Cannon and Steve Harvey. But I told him, don't try to be like them. Be you. Be your own self. They don't need another Nick Cannon. They don't need another Steve Harvey. They don't need another Will Smith.
Yep, it's a good place to start.
It's a good place to start. Watch them. I said, watch them and learn from them. But I told him straight up, I was like, you want to be on TV? He said, yeah. You got to read a book. Hey, the book, I told him, I was like, reading is such a big part in acting. Because if you can't pronunciate the word and you're not fluent and they can't understand you, you're not going nowhere.
Yeah. And it just also is being around, just being around different people that's different from you. Just observing certain things, Sometimes, because being in this part with your friends that you grew up with could be good for you. Yeah. Being with some other people that you never would think you would ever be around with may be, good for you too. So, it's just basically just like exploring life, exploring things, and, trying things
All the time.
all the time, because all that stuff could come to hand, like us right now speaking through microphones. Like,
Yeah.
who ever thought that, was being over here talking with each other on a podcast, speaking about certain things, and,
Exactly.
speaking fluently for not only with each other, but for people who else are listening as well, too.
That's true. You just never know how big your dreams could take you and how far they can take you. So that's why I tell them all the time, like, dream big. I told them, like, because one of my mentors told me that, like, when I was in the military and doing, like, network marketing, they had a quote. And, like, I still say it almost to myself every day. Because sometimes I'll be looking at my son, he got a lot of dreams. And I'll be like, oh, he's just like me. I want to be realistic, but I say, no, I don't want to be realistic. Because I remember this quote, he said, dream big dreams, because little dreams have little magic. And the fact that the matter is, like, man, who knows which dream you let go would have been the dream that took you to the place you was trying to get to.
Yeah.
And I do not want my kids to be like, oh, I gave up on it. I'm the parent like this. I'm pushing them. I was like, hey, this you said is your dream? All right, we taking these steps. We getting in the same thing with, like, my little girl. Whenever she actually gets to a point where she decide what she really want to do, I'm gonna make sure they, like, get versatile and everything. I want them to do everything, explore anything you want to explore. But when we decide what you're trying to do, now let's get these steps down. Let's work on this craft, and let's make it happen. Because that's all about. Because I really feel like it's the support of the parents being around the kids.
Oh yeah.
Because this year, my son he had a good report every day so far, and I had realized, I was like, dang, what really changed from this year to last year? I know kindergarten, he probably still wilding out a little bit. But I started realizing I take my son to school every day, and most of the time I pick him up. And beforehand, like, back then, I was like, I'll pick him up from school. I won't drop him off. I don't do this, that, third. Like, me and him got a routine. Me and him got a routine.
Routine is good for kids, too.
Hey, when I try to tell you, like, my son has been doing outstanding. Like, this man made all 8 on roll twice. So I was
a bit proud father.
exactly. I'm over here. He get a tea every day. I need to talk to him more about his relationships and stuff, because he's trying to be a polygamist. I ain't got nothing wrong with poly, but look, the boy got a little bit too many girlfriends, and I'll be like, hey, I want you to understand. I gotta set an example and everything. But I never know if he decided to go down that road. I'm like, hey, let me learn a little bit more about it so I know what you're doing. I'm just gonna encourage him.
People be surprised, kids can educate you too.
Yes, my son schooled me a lot.
They can definitely educate you too.
What? Because I watch him when he play video games. He just like me. I laugh. He gave me the old controller. I was like, dang, I used to do this with my cousin when they came in town. I was like, dang, I became the sucker. I was like, okay, but man, it's an enjoyment. So I know you're in a relationship and everything's going well. What is your the mental states and everything? How does that work?
Man, it like how you approach anything, and it's not easy. It's a challenge. It's something that you got to be willing to accept, but it's also you got to go with things like that with any relationship or anything like that. You got to take your steps.
Yeah.
And that don't mean like I'm taking 4 steps and you taking 1. No, we taking steps together. Even though my 4 steps are ready to be taken, I'm not gonna take a step until we both taking a step together. And so like sometimes people like will get that in their mind, like, well, I'm doing what I gotta do, so you should be able to do it. No, that's not how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Like that's even with like teammates and stuff like that. Like I'm willing to take a step.
Yeah.
As long as we both are taking a step, And like I said, like it's not easy. There's gonna be some debates. There's gonna be some disagreements. There's gonna be some flaws, which everyone has, And there's gonna be some things, they don't like about you, and you're not gonna like about them. But you got to find a way to mesh. And there's a lot of people would say like, oh, there's supposed to be fights in a relationship. There's supposed to be arguments, and no, they're not supposed to be. There's supposed to be disagreements, which is acceptable. Accepted to disagree, but there's no out calling you out your name and all that stuff like that.
True.
Like when it becomes like that, then it becomes toxic. It don't matter how much you care, love that person. I feel like once they start getting outside of that box, with certain situations, then it's toxic. Because if I'm calling you that now, and we're only 20-something years old, when we 60, you want me to still be calling you that?
Imagine somebody grandpa calling me grandma.
Calling
you old.
You old B. Like, come on. Like,
true that.
It's all challenges to anything. And, like, that's why I said, like, as far as, like, relationships or, whatever you in, there's challenges, there's difficulties. You usually got to be willing to adapt, willing to accept, and I forgot the name in my head, but I forgot what it's called, but it's something where, like, you got to be willing to put up with it, like if you
tolerate.
Yeah. Like if you throwing in the towel, if something like a big pet peeve to you, and you're like, if this really happened, I'm gone. Like it. You gotta be willing to. Really, really bind with each other, like, because not only that this person is gonna change, you're gonna change too throughout the years. So, things can happen. So you just gotta be prepared for the great, but also be prepared for the worst.
I feel you.
Because not saying like things are gonna get worse, but I'm just saying like you just gotta be prepared, because everything is not peaches and cream, but at the end of the day, like they say, at the end of the tunnel, there's always light. And there's definitely light at the end of the tunnel when it becomes with relationships or any type of friendships you have with someone.
That's true. Okay. All right, so what you be doing on a date night, man? Because just educate some people, especially me. I need to know. Because
date nights could be anything. Some people think that they gotta take their spouse or loved one to like a famous restaurant and stuff like that. Sometimes date nights can be just in your house. Just sitting down and giving that person your time. That's what it's really all about. Because sometimes people not really too big on like materialistic things or what they get or where they go. Sometimes just giving them your time is the most valuable thing I think you could give to someone, because not only as y'all in your own safe haven and stuff like that, but at the same time y'all are bonding with each other. Y'all are talking with each other about things y'all probably never talked about in the beginning. It's time. Once you give someone time, you can talk about so much things with that person that you always wanted to share with that person.
Okay. In fact, give me some advice, man. How to all right. Because I'm trying to pursue this one person, and not the same person we talked about before.
No.
A different person.
I got you.
It's a different person, but they're a busy person. So how would one, and somebody else might be dealing with the same problem. They might have somebody that they're interested in. They got somebody that's busy all the time. Mm-hmm. How do you get from them being busy all the time and you can't be on their radar to getting on their radar?
Honestly, with that situation, as far as like how we were saying, you gotta be willing. Yeah. You gotta be willing to.
So it's their play. They gotta be willing.
No, it's not. You gotta kind of understand and try to put yourself in their shoes. If they, because at the end of the day, they could lie to you or not be lying to you. That's your choice to whether to believe them or not believe them. And exactly. I think that's what messes a lot of people up, because people think like, well, maybe that person just give me the runaround. Maybe they don't. No, you gotta understand that. Hey, if someone tell you that, hey, I'm busy, I'm working, I got this, I got da. If they like, hey, just communicate. You gotta have communication. Communication is key. As long as you communicate with them and y'all, you know, checking on each other, seeing how you doing, you know, no crazy stuff, but just like, I hope you have a good day, how your day going, da-da-da, you know, what's new, what's going on, how work going, things like that. As long as you can communicate at that level, somewhere in between, there's going to be a date that pop out, you know, hey, you know, I might have 45 minutes during my lunch break. Do you want to meet up for lunch, you know? You know, if you're free and y'all free, meet up for the 45 minutes, you know? Sometimes people might be like, nah, that's not enough time. You know, some people get in their head and be like, you know, I want more with you, I want longer with you. But if that person only could spare 45 minutes, then
take that 45
if
minutes.
you really care like how you say you are and you really want to, you know, try to make certain things work and be able to communicate with this person, then you got to make that 45 minutes work. Then.
Dang. Yeah, because look, I got canceled on what day was it? Friday. And I was like, at first I was like, dang, man. You know, I was hurt a little bit. It's going to hurt a little bit. But then low-key, I was like, man, this person got a lot of stuff going on. Mm-hmm. So I was like, man, something might have happened. Could have been worse. She got hurt or something. And low-key, he texted him and then found out, like,